Be authentic and be true to you in everything that you do. How to do that and why that matters. Let's jump in. Yeah, what's up everyone? Welcome to Film Inspiration. My name is writer director Edgar Ibarra, and this is the process. So let's get the big one out of the way, coronavirus. It's ramping up. YouTube put out a great link on its YouTube creator blog, from what I know it to be called, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put that link in the description. Basically resources, how to keep your, with regards to keeping your audience informed, what to search. I think you just type in coronavirus and of course you'll have a bunch of the latest news and content come up. Go ahead and check that link out in the description of the video. So kind of an interesting day, I guess. Got up, worked on the movie a little bit in editing before I went to work. Coronavirus and the president's address on the topic was the news of the day. But then I was thinking, and I kind of thought about this, starting last night. What am I going to talk about today with regards to, what I can bring to the table? I was listening to, in the cup holder before I left work, I set a certain YouTube video, and a YouTuber, I left him talking and just wanted to hear what he had to say with regards to some information and how I put the information out there. And I took a few things away from this guy on YouTube. Number one, goes off on tangents like crazy. Number two, a lot of and and number three, a little unstructured. And so I have to confess, that guy was me. And so I thought, on one hand, all right, I could cut down on the uhs, and I do want to work on doing that. And actually, you're going to hear more pauses out of me because those are the moments when I would probably throw an in there. It's just part of my speech pattern that I myself don't like. I noticed it big time. It's one of those things where you look back on your own videos and wonder, okay, what can I improve? Let me take a look. Let me take a listen in this case, while I'm driving home and the phone is in the cup holder. And so a part of me felt, see that there's one of those pauses, because I probably would have said, a part of me felt dumb because of all of the uhs and the but another part of me is like, nah, fuck it. Like, that's me. And I'm, so I'm gonna try to improve upon that, but at the same time, I don't feel terribly bad because that is me. That is part of my speaking pattern. That is part of how I linguistically express myself. And so I would like to try to improve upon that, and also structuring things up a little bit more. That said, the reason why, so let's go into the, the whole premise of why it is that I don't feel too bad about that. Because on the other hand, that's a very authentic part of me. And everything that I'm about to say also applies to you too. The authenticity that comes along with you, and I mean like the real straight up authenticity, your look, the sound of your voice, the way you talk, the way you present yourself, the things you talk about, that mixture and that very specific concoction of things is what makes, in my case, me. And same thing applies to you with regards to what you bring to the table. So all of these things are the very, very authentic me. And I have gotten to a point of being very comfortable of putting that authenticity and that vulnerability out there. There you go, said it, caught it. Oh my God. I'm kind of past the point of worrying about the vulnerability. I kind of, when I get praise for my videos, I definitely want to say thank you, but I'm also, when I get, and if there has ever been, the haters out there, I'm going to kind of listen to it both ways. This comes from Gary Vaynerchuk. Bam, right there. Can't hear anything. Either coming from the good side of praise or the bad side of criticism. You have to let go of that, and I see through his videos If you guys don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is or whatnot, I'll put a link to him in the description also. But you have to let go of that fear of criticism of other people to be your authentic you. And if people don't like your authentic you, there's probably something in their life and within themselves that has a problem with them, so they think they've got to crack down on you for being you. You know what I say to that? F them. You do you, as long as you're not hurting other people, as long as you're not hurting yourself, either through your words or physical actions or whatnot, then F everyone else. You do you, just like I'm doing me. So how that ties to, I'm thinking all day today, how that ties to filmmaking is I was also skimming my body of work because yesterday, Let's Make Movies, thank you so much for subbing, I really do appreciate it. I was skimming through my long list of short comedy skits, the short films, the one feature I have so far, the thing that I'm doing currently called All We Have. I mean, it's like 18 years or almost 20 years of a body of work on YouTube for everyone to check out. Go ahead and I do encourage you to check out my body of work and everything that I've put together. But one thing jumped out at me. A lot of the videos feel the same. The dramatic ones feel the same. The comedic ones feel the same. My stuff is mostly dramatic / thriller. And so a lot of it has that same feel. And it's that same feeling when I know that I'm watching an Oliver Stone movie, especially from the 90s, for example. Or maybe you like Guy Ritchie movies, or maybe you like, what's the name of the guy that did, there you go, there's another, my God. Jordan Peele with Us, what was the first one, Get Out. They have a feel to those movies. And I think when that feel comes through, what you are feeling is the very authentic way that content is put together. And I think that very authentic way of the themes that are approached, the music that's brought in, when it's brought in, things that are shown on screen, the way a movie's structured up, all of these things, for as many times and as many movies as we have seen, a lot of times when the authenticity is there, it's there. A lot of times when somebody's style is coming through, somebody's style is coming through. And so I really respect that, even when it was a movie that not a lot of people might have liked. Now, I'm getting to an example right here. Let's talk about Mother by Darren Aronofsky. I heard all kinds of things, mostly bad, mostly mixed review type of stuff, right? It's a weird movie, I didn't get it, it didn't make sense, what the hell was that about? I don't even know what that meant, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, cool, let's check it out. Checked it out on a Sunday morning. I took a few things away from that movie. It was really disturbing to watch because the sheer level of anxiety that movie produced within me, because of the camera work, because of the things that were going on with the characters and how Javier Bardem's character within the movie kept on inviting other people into the house, like that got really aggravating. And so I noticed, like, I would do this pretty often. Like, a lot of anxiety was built up in me, and I could see why people hated that movie. I loved that movie. I really, really liked it a lot. I don't know Darren Aronofsky personally, and Darren, if you're watching, kudos to you for you on that one. Here's what I take away from it. I think, I've heard all kinds of things. It's about the environment, it's about society. Personally, I think it's about maybe Darren Aronofsky's views on organized religion. Clearly, there are a lot of religious things in that movie. But the thing is that I think it was a movie that was very authentic to, I'm gonna say him, or maybe the writer. And I wanna say it was the writer, like I could be wrong, maybe I am. I haven't researched the movie too much. I'm just speaking from a very instinctual film review. I think that movie was authentically him. Now, what that says about, again, I don't know him as a person, what exactly this film can reveal to us about Mr. Darren Aronofsky, I don't know, that's anybody's guess until I get to know the guy. That'd be really cool if I can get to that point. But what can I say? What I can say about that movie is that it is authentic. And so when that authenticity shines through, you know it right away. I personally like the film because of what I think it tried to express, but not just what it tried to express, but how it did it. It went so far, like batshit crazy. It was insane to watch this movie. A friend of mine called it an experience. I can agree with that description, I guess. It's definitely an experience, and in my case, a very anxiety-ridden experience, but you know that you're watching something different because it feels different. Versus, don't get mad at me for the following example, okay, this is just the only one I can come up with on the top of my head. On the other hand, Marvel movies or every superhero movie, like honestly, I kind of got burnt out. I kind of got a little fatigued on those type of movies because they literally all felt the same. And I know Endgame was a little different. Went to go see it with my wife. I was a little surprised as to how much time they spent on the whole, like, you know, everyone's sad and we don't know if we can find the willpower to like come back and beat Thanos. And okay, that was a little long, but the thing is, it still felt very much like many other movies. And so that feeling was there, but that was still a feeling, and that was a feeling that very much aligns with that brand and that franchise. I'm sorry, is the word I should have said. Even that franchise has a feeling, but you know, it's the same old superhero movie feeling. I'm more of like, you know, the Darren Aronofsky, the deeper side or the deeper type of films. So back to Mother. You know when you're watching something authentic. You know when you're watching something that crept its way out of somebody's mind and onto the little keypad to then form a script. I really respect that, and so for as bad as the critiques and the criticisms and the reception of Mother was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I respect that such an insane movie of such insane proportions, I guess, or you know, that somebody made something that crazy and at that level with that much insanity contained therein. I respect that because I want to say that it came from a very true place within either, you know, Darren Aronofsky, maybe he's the writer, maybe if the writer's a separate person, etc. I respect that because you can tell it's authentic. You can tell that that's somebody's voice of how they feel about, you know, I think it's about religion, other people, again, environment, other people's society, and all the problems we have socially, etc. Whatever it is that it's actually about, it obviously comes from a place of authenticity. And it gets me to wonder, like, would I apologize if I was, you know, the person that wrote that film, or if I was Darren Aronofsky that directed that film? Hell no. I'd be like, you know what? This is my movie. This is my thing. You know, not like it's actually his, but you know what I mean. Like it's very much a Darren Aronofsky movie. Hell no, don't apologize for that, you know, and I would never encourage, you know, it's like, there's nothing to feel bad about. And I think if anything, to put your vulnerabilities out there and communicate the things that were in that movie, to put those further heightened vulnerabilities out there, I respect that, because that takes balls. A lot of people want to stick to like a lot of, you know, safe movies and, you know, don't take a lot of creative risks, etc. And I understand why, you know, like ratings and sales, and you know, you don't want to turn a lot of people off, etc. I get it, you know what I mean? But when you see somebody deviate as far as Mother did, I'm just like, damn, that's pretty awesome. Like, that is authentic right there. That's the takeaway, you guys. That's what I got for you. Be authentic. And you know, as long as if there are areas in your life, like I was telling you with my and this and that you can improve upon in your life, by all means do improve. Sharpen your skills, sharpen your craft, but as long as you're not hurting yourself, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, and of course physically or with your words, your ideas, as long as you're respectful and civil, I guess is what I'm trying to say, then you do you. And if people don't like it, then that probably says more about them than it does about the thing that you're trying to create with your authenticity, with your authentic voice. Everyone else, F them. You do you, and do it authentically. And you know what's funny is that, like, it's taken me years of just practicing the craft of creating things to be able to let go of the vulnerability and, you know, oh, what are people gonna think, and what are people, it's like, as long as I did the best that I could with what I had to work with and who I had to work with, if it's people or money or resources, etc., as long as you did the best and to the best of your abilities within the craft, like, you know, could I tighten this shot a little bit more? Does it seem to be longer or slower? Can I stretch this out? Does it need to be stretched out? You know, as long as you do the best with all of those details within the craft, given the resources, then screw everyone else. Do your authentic you. Do your authentic you. We make movies. I liked, God, I forgot which video it was that I saw yesterday, but it was pretty badass. Is the one that I think it was on top of the list, but man, that's some authenticity right there. That's a search We Make Movies. It's a YouTube channel. I'll put a link below. Check out We Make Movies. You know, it's I saw videos very much on the poetic side with some images and whatnot. I really dug it. But again, authenticity. You know, get to a point of being okay with saying, okay, like I did what I could with what I had to work with and everything else, right? A big part of myself is the news industry, because when you're putting together a news story or content every single day and you are entrusted to do that, at some point you're just able to, like, thinking about, you know, because your focus is just to do the best job and to tell a story as best every single night, because you know that an entire city is going to be watching your work. You know it. The city may not know they're watching, you know, my shooting, my editing, but whatever, you know, like, I know they're watching, and I know that my coworkers know, you know, who put this story or that story together, if it's myself or somebody else. Like, you learn to just let go of what the hell people think. Not because you don't care, not because you're dismissive, but because you need to take care of the thing, the project, the thing that you're putting together. Get to that point. Get to that point of saying, F everybody. I need to take care of this thing. And that's why I respect authenticity, like, you know, what I saw in Mother. So you do you, get to the point of doing you, refine and refine and refine your ability to better tell your story, but always within that story, never lose you. Never lose that authentic feel that makes the thing your thing. You guys, that's what I got for you. I love you all. If you have not done so, please hit subscribe. For everyone who has recently subscribed, my new subscribers and the ones who've been with me for a while, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for all your support. I really, really do appreciate it. And message is the same, everyone. You got a higher power, consult your higher power. If not, run out there, do your thing, tell your stories. Don't let anybody control your stuff. Don't ask for anyone's blessing. Don't ask for anyone's permission. Do your thing, tell your stories. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Adios.